What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Daisy's Garden. And in this one, I was going to talk about the dangers of attachment. Attachment in general, when it comes to material things, or people, or even nature, or even yourself. On my path so far, I've learned about how attachment seems to kind of hold the strings down to your developing consciousness in terms of beliefs that we've kind of fallen into since the day as we were being developed. We have these beliefs that started to develop when we're in the womb. You can hear your mom, and you kind of start getting a grasp on at least language then. So you're already, even right when you're being developed, you're already being kind of developed into this person that society wants you to be. I'd say to start with attachment. Materialism and consumerism come to mind for sure, because that's something that promotes things, things that you don't need, like new phones and new cars and all just new stuff, all kinds of new stuff that doesn't matter, because it doesn't. When you die, you're not going to remember the stuff you have. You're not going to care about the stuff you have. That stuff won't exist to you. I think things are just, it's kind of like a mental weight on your shoulders that you might not even know is there. Maybe it's subconscious and you won't, because man, I've really turned minimalist, and I really don't have much of anything. And I felt like once I got rid of a lot of stuff, like I felt a physical weight off my shoulders. Like getting rid of just things feels physically good, and that's really cool. And then when it comes to people, this is where my thought process has changed a lot, like even lately. Yourself and other people are pretty much one and the same. As in, there is no you, there's no I, there's no me. You're literally a shared consciousness of everything that is conscious. And everything in your immediate reality is all that reality really is. And something I've been learning a lot lately that's really been very, very cool has been the idea of the reason why you think that you are you is your thoughts. Your thoughts are what drive you to be you, or I, or me, or self, whatever you want to use to describe it. And it's something to think about, as in thinking about it like, okay, I am perceiving my thoughts. Your thoughts are a perception of yourself. But then if you take a step back and you're like, who is perceiving the perception that I'm perceiving my thoughts? And you don't really have an answer, but you want to think and be like, oh, me, I perceive everything. But, it just doesn't really make sense if you realize that the perception of your thoughts itself is a perception. So how can a perceiver have a perception if they're the overall perception? It's a very cool thing to grasp and to think about, because it really opens your eyes to that, like, this consciousness that you have and the thoughts that control it doesn't exist. It's not real. And the reason why I think that these things are important to know is that when you are expanding your consciousness, there's a certain point where you're gonna just hit a point and you're gonna go in circles, because you're never gonna find that answer. It's going meta, I'm pretty sure is what it's called, when you just it also ties in with existence itself, where if you think it came from nothing, well then I guess that's kind of pretty self-explanatory, that it came from nothing. But then if you believe that there's something that started the universe, then something had to have started that. There's a cause and effect to everything. So that wouldn't really make much sense to kind of keep thinking about it when you're not going to get anywhere. Your brain is going to go in circles for months or years, and maybe you'll come across a cool realization, but then you're just going to get stuck in another bubble of, okay, well then where did that come from? You know, it's all a system of cause and effect. You know, there's the law of cause and effect that is explained in the Kabbalion, I think. I know it is, but I'm not exactly sure what principle it is. I'm pretty, oh yeah, the cause and effect. The principle of cause and effect. It's from that one. And I just think that it's important when if you are on this journey to get to that point, because I realized that, because if you want to keep progressing like that, the ultimate is enlightenment. And I feel like that's kind of like the beginning tier of what enlightenment is, because obviously enlightenment is knowing how much you don't know, and I'm not at that point yet, but I'm kind of putting pieces together of what it could be like, you know, and it's really cool, and I just really want to share that, because I think it's just interesting and helpful to people that are on this path, and even to people that aren't. Like, if they got on this journey, like, everybody's life would improve, because everybody would be motivated about how pointless life is, because in a sense it is, but taking it in a perspective of that it's a cool thing, that you can literally do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Even, you know, there's you know, laws, but you have the option to do that. You know, you have the option to do drugs. You know, you have the option to, you know, go speed. Obviously, you know, there's bad things that you can do that, I mean, from a moral standpoint, it is bad in terms of natural laws, like the actual, like the natural laws, and not just laws that were put here from government to keep us doing things to keep us asleep, essentially, which is by, you know, not allowing cannabis, not allowing psychedelics. Those are big ones. Fluoridating the water, advertising fast food and meat like it's actually good for you, or that it's actually going to help you, which is, it's on purpose. It's meant for that to be on purpose. It's the matrix that we're living in. And I feel like once you kind of break out of that and you kind of wake up, in a sense, to attachment and how much it can, you know, hold the strings down on your hot air balloon, and it just keeps you in that same spot, even if you are, you know, you're rising spiritually, which is awesome. You know, I encourage, you know, the processes of, you know, bettering yourself to get to this position, because when I started, I was very anxious, very sad, decently open-minded, but there's a lot of things that I wasn't. And on that spiritual journey, that's where it really started opening up more. And then now I've been, you know, doing a little bit more of listening online to lectures and stuff, and other things are starting to click with me about, you know, at a certain point you just start running in circles, and then you kind of make these little, you know, these little changes in your thought process, and, you know, you kind of dig a little deeper, like into thought about how, you know, it's literally just an infinite chain of like, oh, it's me, but, you know, there's constantly this perception of, a perception of thought. So it doesn't make sense. Like, thoughts are essentially, and what I think is your ego, kind of, essentially, because your thoughts are just trying to trick you. That's the whole point of thoughts, is to trick you into thinking that and it's not a bad thing to not be a self, because you're literally part of everything. It's a really beautiful, transcending type of thing. It's not like like, wow, you aren't a self, you are pointless, you should just go kill yourself. No, it's the opposite. It's just this beautiful awareness that that's all you are, is awareness, and just, you know, a perception, I guess, of what reality looks like in your immediate surroundings. And it's pretty awesome, and for me, that's something that's really helped me, and I wanted to talk about today, because that's what's been on my mind today. And that's when I do these, it's just whatever's on my mind, hit record and start going. I feel like that's just the best way to naturally get everything out. But yeah, so I don't know, I think that letting go of attachment is one of the best things you can do for yourself, I guess. to just kind of wake up to things and really just enjoy the time you have here, essentially. The time. It's cool. There's so many awesome, fun concepts about life to talk about, and I don't know. It just makes life amazing. And I don't know, so I hope, you know, some you guys took something from that, or if you disagreed with me, that's cool. If you agreed with me, that's cool. You know, whatever your perception is on this is awesome, because that's what makes life cool. Also, is the difference of opinions, even from your own. But yeah, with that, hope you guys are having a great day today. As always, have an amazing day. It's hard to do if you aren't used to appreciating small things about life, in terms of, you know, your breathing. You know, you're able to listen to this video, you're able to watch this video, you know, even if you have some shit that feels like it's the end of the world, it's not. You know, you're gonna get through it because you're a strong motherfucker, and you'll be able to do it. But yeah, so lose a balance a little bit here. Wow. All right. So with that, happy trails, everyone, and have those nature baths and piranha breaths to keep you grounded. See you, my friends. Any thought? What's up? I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's going on? What you want to know?
Who perceives you?
You do.
Okay, I perceive you.
Yeah, yep. You got a sport?
Okay, so who perceives that I perceive you?
You.
Okay, then who perceives that?
You.
That doesn't click. That doesn't make too much sense.
No, see, it clicks and it makes perfect sense. Just go along with it. It's me.
Okay, then who's perceiving what you're saying?
You. It's you. You perceive everything that I do. Easy as that. Y-O-U.